Of order, Onwurah.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. And during the urgent question on the humanitarian situation in Gaza on April the 17th, the member for Macclesfield, who was speaking on behalf of the Foreign Secretary, said that the government wanted an independent review of the terrible killing of British aid workers by the Israeli Defence Forces. And that followed on from the Foreign Secretary himself posting on X that a wholly independent review was required. However, in response to my written question, the Deputy Foreign Secretary said that the Prime Minister had called for a transparent investigation into that terrible attack. Now, Mr. Deputy Speaker, a transparent investigation is not the same as an independent investigation. And given that the whole point of my question was in the Chamber was to highlight that investigations conducted by the IDF into the actions are not independent, this answer troubled me. And given also that the Foreign Secretary refuses to come to this chamber to be held accountable, can you advise me how I can clarify that the Minister did not accidentally mislead the House in saying that the government wanted an independent investigation when it's only calling for a transparent investigation, and all those who seek accountability for the actions of the IDF want to know what the government's position is?
For giving notice of her point of order. Clearly the Chair is not responsible for the answer of ministers, but I will say that the Treasury bench will have heard the point of order that she has made and make sure that the Minister is able to respond to her. Point of order, Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I seek your advice on how we in this House can ensure that the National Security Online Information Team investigates the Facebook groups that Greenpeace exposed at the weekend, where the Tory mayoral candidate Susan Hall is a member of, where they have put on this group that they plan to kill our current mayor, Sadiq Khan. Mr. Deputy Speaker, how can we ensure the government investigates this, please?
Well, I'm sure that can I thank the honourable member for her point of order and a forward notice of it, and I'm sure that she herself could make contact with any organisations which can investigate the serious allegations that she has just made. Thank you for all that. Munira Wilson, point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. On a point of order, earlier today, the Minister for School Standards said that the statistic I quoted on secondary teacher recruitment targets was incorrect, often repeated and not right. I'm afraid it's the Minister himself who is incorrect. The Department for Education's own website states in bold that 50% of the ITT recruitment target for secondary teachers was reached in 2023-2024, which is what I said. And in raw numbers, that's 13,102 secondary school trainees were recruited onto courses out of the 26,360 the government said were needed. Mr. Deputy Speaker, you don't need maths to 18 to work out that's less than 50% of the target. And furthermore, what I said in my question was that some subjects were missing those targets by 50%, yet in many subjects they are missing them by way more, for instance physics, which only met 17% of its target. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, have you had any indication if the Minister plans to correct the record, and if not, how do you suggest I go about securing a correction?
I thank the honourable member for her point of order and forward notice of it. The Chair, again, is not responsible for ministerial responses, but the Treasury bench, again, will have heard the remarks that she has made, and, of course, we would expect any alterations or corrections to be made as soon as possible. Thank you very much. I'm now going to hand over to Dame Rosie for the rest of the business.